All right, everybody, we are back with the Week 15 review, Week 16 preview. Got Ryan, just Ryan in the booth today. Not many people left. Say what's up, Ryan.
I'm here with Sad Eric.
Sad Eric. I'm gonna try to. I'll rant where I'm gonna rant, but I'll try to keep the energy high because I know it's still exciting for those of you that are still alive, but I'm in the dumps. Um, yeah. See you later, idiot. Clearly, I'm bad at fantasy. It's my fault. I'm just a terrible manager. and,
Stupid game.
and for that reason, I'm out. Fourth place. I guess I did better than I did last year. So there's that. That's it. I'm gone. We'll get to my. Want to get to my slide? I'll rant some more maybe. Um, top 25. Fleming getting his actually first star of the season. Scored 167. That's down from my 191 last week. Boy, where did that go? Scored half of that this week.
This might
And
be a very entertaining video if we just get salty, Eric.
I'll just be salty for everyone else's amusement in this video. Fleming picking up his second trash can. It's funny, I think his only trash cans have come like this late in the season where it's not you're not really the worst scorer. I mean, you're alive, so it's whatever. You'll take a trash can any week this week because that means you survived. Next week, I'm not going to give one out for second place. Like if third place gets eliminated and first place gets a star, I'm not going to give a trash can a second. They just get nothing. So this is the last trash can of the season. Scored 125. Squeaked behind Ryan, who is also at 125.
Hey, Eric, when
Yeah.
you're making your accolades for like all-time records and stuff, I think you're gonna need one for most trash cans to ever win a guillotine league.
That'd be a good one. I think
Because I think
JC
that,
had one when he won the league. He had one trash can. So
yeah. What am I looking at?
I think you have two. You would all have two. I think Fleming has at least one or two, and you have one or two,
Oh, I think I have more than
and
two.
Huff has two. You have I'll say you have at least two. We'll get there. It's on your slide, so we'll see.
Hold on, can you jump ahead before I forget? I was
Okay.
wondering,
Da. Wait. Nope. But look at this. What is this? Okay.
yeah, that's
I don't
pretty
have any
sad.
bad accolades. I just got
That's
eliminated
pretty
with nothing.
sad.
Two for Huff, two for Ryan, two for Fleming.
Oh,
So
okay. I was thinking Ice Cube too. That's what I was.
that works
Yeah.
too. Then five. If you count all bottom 25%, six, four.
Ah,
Also,
I
I
got
broke
it.
the record of 10. JC had 8 last year, and I got 10. 10 of 15 weeks, I was in the top 25%.
Good job,
So
Eric.
stupid.
Hang the banner.
Yeah, I'll take my small wins.
I need to get Mark on memeing. You know how when UCF didn't make it to the playoffs in
Mm-hmm.
football,
Mm-hmm.
despite their undefeated record, I think they have like a banner hanging like UCF 13-0, like national champions. We're gonna make the banner for Eric.
Oh my
Most
god.
most positive accolades in a season. 10 accolades. Hang the banner.
Yep. That's gonna be a hard record to beat, and I hope it is. But doesn't it's all for nothing. All for nothing. Okay. And here, oh, what the hell? Why did it jump right through it? Here we go. So Ryan and Huff right here, right around 125 together. Fleming put up a nice 167, and I got just over 100. So not too exciting. That's a pretty low score. Scored just about what Jake scored 2 weeks ago. So flame me all you want. I deserve it. Yeah, that's it. Week 16, the Monday Night Football is going to be Saints Packers in Lambeau. Packers are
Kamara's out.
Oh, and Kamara's out. Okay. So that makes sense then with the whole someone should pick up Kendre Miller and start him. I'd love to see that. But Kamara at the time was in a lineup / he's at least rostered. But Jacobs is the realistic.
I think they're
only.
shutting him down for the year, actually. So I don't know if he's probably rostered for now, but probably won't be.
Yeah. So it's really just Jacobs then. Ryan, you got him. So if you are not doing well going into Monday, you got Jacobs to
I'll
back you up.
be locked into that game if I'm not safe.
Yeah.
Although I would assume that if I'm within like 10-ish, I should probably feel pretty comfy, barring injury.
Yeah, you should. I mean, but Jacobs is a great guy to have to rely on. He's gotten touchdowns like every week. It's a lock.
Yep.
I should tell myself that. Didn't matter. Didn't matter though. It didn't matter who I started, or at least who the lineup that I was actually considering rolling out wouldn't have won me. Wouldn't have gotten me safe. It would have got me closer, but not safe. I find this line funny. Packers 14-point favorites and the over/under is only 42. That means like
that is a wild line.
The score is supposed to be 28-14. Then that essentially is what this is saying. I don't know. Weird line. I would bet the under on that, or not the under. The Saints spread.
I love that you kept in the economy slot.
You might as well. I'm hoping I end the year as like second or third in scoring, even though I went out fourth. That would imply actually no, yeah. If you or Fleming go this week, you're not passing me. Even Huff, none of you are passing me this week. So maybe I could end the year at the highest score. I think JC won. JC and Jack were both over 2,000, so I unfortunately did not get the scoring record. But I think I have the highest average scoring record. 128. I don't know if anyone has that. I'll have to go back and check. Like I said, sometime probably won't do it right after the season. I think I'll do it as like a precursor to the draft next season. Go over some of the league records over the first two seasons. I think that'll be a fun way to segue in. But yeah, Ryan and Fleming right around that 1,600 and Huff at 1,700. James still above both of you. So that's it. Economy $0. Fun stuff. Grim Reapers, I didn't really care to go in and see who has who and whatever, but I just wanted to note that Joe Mixon... Oh, okay, come back. Joe Mixon is at 3 now. He joins the 3 squad, and because of the whole 3rd and 4th place eliminations not getting dropped, or at least their starting lineups, like Joe Mixon is capped now at 3. He cannot get any more because he's locked on my roster. So I believe these are the other 2s that are rostered. That could have changed. I didn't really adjust this. I know Nico Collins was picked up by... I didn't start him, or else he'd be a 3 as well. Huff got Nico, so we will see. And I think he is rolling him out this week. So all there is to say there. Okay, my Week 15 reaction. This is just me being sad. Existence is pain. It wouldn't be a Guillotine League, though, if it wasn't always interesting.
Existence is pain.
But truly, it wouldn't be the Guillotine League if it wasn't always interesting and things like this happened. So, for the sake of that, I'm glad it happened. But for just about every other reason, I'm questioning everything I ever thought about this league, because it doesn't even matter if you have literally the top 2 or 3 guys at every single position outside of quarterback. That is, I will say, I didn't have Lamar or Josh Allen. I don't know what else I was supposed to do. I frankly don't. I got lucky where I needed to get lucky earlier in the season to get where I am now, but I don't know how I get to where I am now and not survive, at least get to the championship. If I lost in the championship, that's another thing. But also, the other thing I didn't mention last week, I actually, statistically speaking, given that the 3rd and 4th place teams lock, this was actually the most likely week, I would say, for me to get eliminated for the rest of the season, because there's more randomness because there's more teams. And you could also look at it the flip side. There's also more teams. I mean, more likelihood that someone besides me is going to have a bad week. But I don't know. You could look at it both ways. But ultimately, never feel safe. Never play floor plays late in the season. Go big or go home.
I played 4 plays.
Shut up. I played the floor plays of my studs, and it didn't work. But to be fair, no combination that I was actually considering would have worked, so I can't beat myself up too much. But I did take the floor plays. I thought Chuba was a lock for at least like 12, whereas other guys had a chance to dud. And then Cortland Sutton I thought was more of a lock to not score single digits, which he did not score single digits, but over Justin Jefferson, who did score single digits a couple times. 4 of the last 5 weeks. If you look at Justin Jefferson leading up to that week that I just benched him, he was like wide receiver 40, putting up wide receiver 40 numbers for like 4 of those 5 weeks. So I don't think I was dumb for benching him. I thought he was a risk, and after Huff puts up a 0 with Cooper Kupp, I was like, yeah, let's play floor plays. Let's play conservative, and that didn't help, and it didn't matter anyway. None of my guys would have gotten it done for me. Okay, yeah, there's really not much. I took out the last one of these because there's no fab, so there's no budget versus anything. It's just these two, the Fantasy Pros versus Sleeper. Sleeper really likes Huff's team, and then Fantasy Pros likes Ryan's and Fleming's more.
That's fascinating.
Sleeper does not like Ryan's team. It's kind of crazy, the differences here.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I wonder what's doing that, if there's like a player or something.
I mean, it's all razor thin margin between your three teams now, so it's not really that big, but it is, I guess. And now rest of season, this week versus rest of season, Fleming's looking the best for both. Ryan's right around the middle, and Huff, this is all from Fantasy Pros now, so Fantasy Pros does not like Huff in the first place because he's down here, and now this is both metrics for Fantasy Pros. It does not like Huff for whatever reason. It's all pretty close, though. Anyone's game. All right, right into 10 minutes, and we're already right into the team slides. So that's how it is at this point in the season. Fleming, Josh Allen scored like a combined 95 points over the last 2 weeks, so that's pretty crazy. Amon-Ra putting up 30, McLaurin 23, some good weeks all around. Adds in Justin Jefferson to the mix, so now he's got the Puka, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb. Like, that's a pretty powerful group of wide receivers, considering that Jamar is not in the mix. I guess that's really the only one. You could say Sutton, but I don't think anyone else would.
What do they have as the wide receiver 1 overall?
Jamar? Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, Jamar.
Yeah, not even close. He's far and away. So he didn't even get it done for me last week. I'm just gonna keep complaining throughout this entire thing.
I didn't know if you were I guess it is still counting Jamar, even though he's not on and Fleming, myself, or Huff's roster.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, because we didn't drop my roster technically.
I gotcha.
Fantasy Pros analyze. That's why you'll see 4s when there really shouldn't be 4s, because my roster still is a roster. So that confuses these graphs a little bit this week, but I see what you mean by. I thought you were asking who has the most fantasy points as a wide receiver this season. But yeah, so that's why that is what it is. Also grabs Kamara, but as we just discussed, might be out for the season, but not bad for just stashing him potentially if he does get to play next week. I have his tough matchup as Amon-Ra at Chicago. As we know, Chicago's pretty good against the pass, and outside of Justin Jefferson's touchdown, he didn't have a crazy good game.
Well, I would also say Chicago is a tough matchup because they're also just bad. We saw.
You're just gonna run it against them.
Well, the Vikings just jumped on them, and then Jones had a big game because they basically didn't throw the second half. You know, so it's interesting. And I think same thing. With if I was on last week, I would have said as a kind of a hot take, but not really. My tough matchup is Lamar against the Giants because there's going to be blowouts. Teams, it's week 15. Teams have quit. And there's going to be just crazy mismatches, and I think in fantasy, there's such a thing of just hey, if a playoff team is up 30, their guys are probably done for the day, and that might hurt some teams, but
yeah, very true. We'll have those matchups late in the season for sure.
I mean, heck, maybe, and I don't think this will be the case, but I bet you the Bills blow out New England, and it's if they're up 30, is James Cook getting carries, or are they going to Ray Davis or somebody else in the fourth quarter? Just point. Food for thought.
Yeah, I've got James Cook in my starting lineup in my other Guillotine league that I'm still alive in, and maybe that's something to consider. As
you should. I feel like that's not something where worth overthinking, but it's a plausible thing to happen, Yeah.
All right. And what I'll say on Fleming's team is, he's been hot. He's been second in scoring to me every week, and then this week he's the highest scorer. He's the hottest team left right now. But it's been carried by Josh Allen. And if we see, say, a week of only 20 points from Josh Allen, which is nothing bad, but it's just not what Josh Allen's been doing, it could be a lot different. So I think Fleming's still relying on Josh Allen to carry his team through, but it starts with Josh Allen, I think.
And Johnny's been freaking awesome.
Johnny's been awesome, yeah. And now he has JJ, so that's another piece to the squad. So I think if we're on a flip side of league records, if Fleming wins, he might go down as the least amount of positive accolades to win to win. With given it's unfortunate because his two second places last 2 weeks before this week don't go down as Flames because that was when we had stopped giving out Flames for second place.
He pulls his starters, so
he also pulls his starters, yes. But usually all that's going to do is be the difference of being a middle of the pack team versus a ice cube. So he's like forced ice cubes onto his by doing that, but that's it. I don't think he's stripped away.
I do think he pulled. I'd have to go look, but like a couple of weeks ago, I think he was at like 160 and he pulled somebody or something.
Okay.
I'd have to go look, but I do think it could have potentially robbed him of like maybe one, nothing crazy, but
sure. So asterisk on that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Ryan, here's your team: Lamar 36, Chase Brown, the RB1 through the second half of the season. 24, and then your third highest score being JSN at 13 is very underwhelming, as we've mentioned.
Good floor plays.
That means you probably had a bunch of guys right around 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yep.
Not too many duds from what I remember without looking back.
Monty dudded, actually.
Well, he got hurt, so what are you going to do? But yeah.
But yeah, he dudded. Jawan Jennings, dud.
Yeah, see, and that was another Thursday night thing, and that's why I played it safe. There were reasons I played safe, but
yeah, it is pretty crazy that it's the Lamar effect, but him and Chase Brown, that's half my points basically. And I got a combined 60 from the rest of my team, so
yeah,
kind of just how it goes.
It is just how it goes. I got a combined less than 30 points from Saquon, Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, Chuba.
Yeah, hate to see that.
What are you gonna do?
I don't think I have. I think I have JSN over.
I like JSN
over AJ here. Over. I'm looking at the roster, the lineup it has for me for this week. I think I'm benching AJ Brown.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, Gino's back. AJ Brown had one good week. I'm not going to overreact. Yeah, he very, very well could pop off for 20 again against Washington.
Because of that AJ Brown week and that whole storyline of the chemistry that I think Saquon got the short end of the stick because of that.
I would agree. And yeah, I think I'll ask your opinion, but I was between the Bills D against New England and the Lions D against who the heck do they have? Chicago. Chicago has just looked atrocious.
Caleb Williams is a mess. Turnover.
Their O-line is awful.
That's a close call, though. I do like the Bills D.
Yeah, I do too. And it's funny. The Patriots' offense isn't. It's like Drake May. Drake May is doing well. I feel like it's literally just him. But I don't know. I'm leaning Lions. I think I watched that Monday night game, Vikings Bears, and that was a tough showing. And the Lions are coming off a loss. I think Campbell will have the boys fired up. So.
Yeah, I did not actually watch that game. Because I had Bowers was my only guy left in the other game, so I was watching the Raiders Falcons, and that was a stupid game to watch. But
yeah, that was tough.
Pointless. I don't think Bowers got a catch in the second half. Great, Desmond Ridder really doing me dirty. I thought he was quarterback proof, and they had a good matchup too, so thought it would still work out for Bowers. Seems to be like the entire focal point of the offense, no matter who's back there. But it is what it is. I was already dead. There was really no chance unless Bowers went off for 30. But yeah, I'd say also you got Dowdle in there at the flex. I think that's a sneaky play.
I like that. I like it.
There's a floor play for you. He's your replacement floor play for David Montgomery.
For Monty. Yeah, for Monty. Yeah.
He's been putting up, like, he won't score and he won't get a lot of catches, but he'll go 120 on the ground and give you 12 points.
And he's been pretty dynamic too. Like, obviously anybody could hypothetically, break one off, but he's had quite a bit of chunk plays where, one man to beat and he doesn't. But that's been interesting to watch. But yeah, I'm excited because Jacobs gets 20 to 25 a game carries. Chase Brown gets 20 to 25 carries a game. Kyron I think he's been north of 25 like the last 3 games, and Dowdle's been 20 to 25 the last 2 games. He has another good matchup against bad Bucks D. So I feel like those should be decent plays, but we shall see.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, well, besides Lamar, as I have as your top matchup versus Pittsburgh, I have the other one I considered was Chase Brown against Cleveland for 2 reasons. I mean, it's hard to say because he's been so good, but Cleveland does have a good run D, and if it's a shootout, which it might be, we might just see a lot of passing and not a lot of Chase Brown. So a couple ways that could go where Chase Brown doesn't put up a great game, but
Yeah, I think
once we get in the red zone, though, we use him. He gets used once we
if
get down the
Jameis was starting, I think I would agree.
Is Jameis not
However,
starting?
no, it's DTR.
Oh my dude, how am I not following this? I was worried. I'm so concerned for the Bengals because I'm so happy that the Chargers won last night. Which by the way, no one had any players in that game, so it doesn't matter that we're late on the video. But the Bengals' path to the playoffs just became a lot easier. And one of my biggest concerns was we're gonna flop here against the Browns with Jameis. But
Yeah, you shouldn't be concerned. I think DTR is straight booty. So,
wow.
yeah, I think y'all might blow him out.
Someone start the Bengals defense. Do you see what we just did last week? I think they're
I
coming into their
I
own.
thought about it in not in this league, in another league. I did think about it.
Chubb's out too, I think. Not that he's
I
that
think
much of a
it's
threat.
I think it's a pretty good play, actually. I think I would have them like probably pretty close to next in line behind.
I would respect it so much if someone did it.
I mean, DTR is bad. Like he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah, he's just not
Anyway.
good. I saw a little bit of him when the Bengals played him last time when they had when Deshaun got hurt, and then first they put in DTR and then they put in Jameis. Thank God. If they put in Jameis right away, we might have lost the game because Jameis started heating up at the end. But yeah, great news for me. Thank you. You made my day better.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, Huff's team. Big scorers last week were Connor and Gibbs. Unfortunately for me, those were both in the 4:00 window, and I was in desperation time, and Huff was my hope of catching up, and these guys just started going off. Oh, I'll tell I have a little story when I get to my slide. I won't pull away from Huff's here. Yeah, he drops Kamara, as we said, probably rightfully so. He only adds Nico this week, goes right into the lineup to go alongside Devontae Adams, who's coming off a crazy high scoring week. On Huff's bench, though, Huff did not start Devontae, right? Yeah, or else he'd be his top scorer. So yeah, yeah, Huff's had a pretty solid team all year. He's starting some of his guys that I guess. Let's think. Achan and Connor are still from the draft, so props to him for drafting those guys and them still being relevant at this point in the season. He's not actually starting Tyreek in the second flex. I believe I saw it was Aaron Jones, who I don't hate that play either against Seattle. Aaron Jones is just
I like it.
Very consistent. Jalen Hurts at Washington. He if you look across his lineup, he has no tough matchup. So technically, the analytics has Kelsey versus Houston as his worst matchup, but I don't think that's a bad matchup. So I'm pulling a kind of just a hunch play. I'm going to say Adams at Rams. I say he flops after his big 38-point week, and the Rams are kind of on a heater right now. So I think they're going to get in Rodgers' business and not let him have a good game. So all the receivers are going to be hurt by that. Is my prediction.
I think Kelsey's a tough matchup, and he's not been really that great anyway.
Sure. Not too great. But that's all I got to say for Huff here. He 2 trash cans now, but they both came late in the season, so not really.
Hypothetically, Gibbs very easily could go for 30 plus this week, very conceivably.
Yeah, I mean, also conceivably, Craig Reynolds steals a touchdown.
I agree. I did think that, but not willing to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say start him. Hey, I see the Lions.
Craig Reynolds.
He's a lock for 10 points. Floor of 10 points for Craig Reynolds is my prediction.
You know what I might do though? I might go check out his. Here we'll do a little real time
fantasy,
real time sport bet. A little real time sport bet.
What's the anytime Craig Reynolds touchdown?
That's what I'm looking up.
What's a Bengals defense touchdown looking like? I'm gonna throw that in there too.
Hold on.
Maybe I'll throw that in my Bozo parlay this week for.
Let's see. You should.
If Philip happens to be in here, he's in that group with me.
NFL Bengals, here they popped up first. Let's see.
I've got
Touchdown scores. Show all. Cincinnati defense. Oh, that's terrible odds. Plus 600. That should be
for a
better.
Bengals defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's stupid. All right, and then who were we looking at? I forgot already. Oh, Craig Reynolds.
Yeah.
Craig Reynolds. Any guesses? I've got it here.
Before I look at it, I'm gonna say 290.
Ooh, plus 300.
That's pretty close.
So
But,
put $10 on
yes,
Craig
so-
Reynolds touchdowns to make 30. Is that how it works? No.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm gonna do that in real time.
$10?
Not 10. I'll do 5. Oh, I have 350 on FanDuel.
$350.
Here, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do Craig Reynolds' last touchdown score plus 1400.
Okay. Maybe just $1. Or you really want to do $3?
I'm gonna go $3.
I like
Okay,
that.
it's placed. It's placed.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think that's a great bet. Whether or not it hits is a different story, but I think it's a good bet.
That's a good bet no matter what.
Alrighty, let's continue.
Let us continue. I think that's all to say for Huff. Hurts, I guess, is the other addition this week. I forgot to mention is a new addition, but good addition probably. Jaden Daniels has Philly, so he's going to bench him, and I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, good move.
All right, here I am, idiot. $3. The last $3 gone.
Go off, King.
No negative accolades.
Broncos D top scorer.
Broncos D top scorer. So here was my situation on Sunday. If any of you guys can,
There's a lot of
I don't
accolades
know.
on that side there.
I know. If any of you guys can sympathize with me, so 1 o'clock window didn't go great. Not the worst thing ever, but I knew I still got Saquon. I still got who else did I have at that point? So who were the 4 o'clock games? Broncos D and Cortland Sutton. Those were my last 3 guys. Mainly, I was like, look, I got Saquon. We're good, even if they're playing the Steelers. Right? Wait, they were playing the Steelers, right? Am I completely?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, they were. So tough matchup, but I still liked it. Huff, who was at a very low. We both me and Huff were projected under 100 at one point. And he had Gibbs and James Conner. And late now we're in the second half of the games. Jump forward, we're both projected pretty bad. I think maybe one of his guys had gotten a touchdown, so he was pulling away from me on projected points. And then Broncos D pick 6. I'm now like hyped up. I'm like, oh my god, we're back. We're gonna survive. And then 2 seconds later, I'm watching Red Zone, and it's like James Conner touchdown. I'm like damn it, like it doesn't even matter that the Broncos just scored because like it just gets canceled out just like that. And then 5 minutes later, Cortland Sutton touchdown on a bomb. Cortland Sutton was having a dud of a game. It was all his points were on this touchdown. 2 seconds later, Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. I'm just like, as soon as something good happened to me, I could enjoy it for about 30 seconds before one of Huff's guys scored and just crushed my dreams. It was very crushing, and then Saquon was doing nothing. We're going into the second half, and the Eagles have a 2-touchdown lead. I would think, Steelers are punting. Eagles up 2 touchdowns. It's Saquon's time to eat and have his 70-yard rushing touchdown that he pulls off anytime they have a lead like that. Nope, they wouldn't use him. They just refused to use him, and Kenneth Gainwell was in a lot, and they were just passing the ball. He was getting stuffed to the line every time he got the ball. Very, very frustrating 4 o'clock window to watch, and then I was just in the dumps knowing all I had was Bowers left and not enough. And then I had to watch the Sunday night game where Josh Jacobs and Charbonnet, who I had both on my bench, both scored. Sutton was my only touchdown scorer outside of Burrow throwing touchdowns.
That's pretty brutal.
It's brutal. Anyway, there's my rant.
That'll get you.
You'll
That'll get you.
Done
In
hearing
week
from me.
15. Well, you had a good season, Eric.
Good season, thank you. I'll take what I
Good management. You had good management.
I think I did. I can't, and yeah, we can. I'm not going to go into specifics on but ultimately the lineup I was considering that would have been made more sense, which is JJ over Cortland Sutton and then Josh Jacobs over Chuba. It wouldn't have mattered, and I wasn't going to bench Derrick Henry. I wasn't going to bench Saquon. There were no worlds where I was going to do that, or anyone else in my position would ever bench those guys. So, I just got screwed. Just some bad weeks. I don't think it was terrible choices that I made necessarily, but all right, enough of me. Fleming, Ryan, and Huff. It's the order I have it. It's all pretty close, but Fleming has been, pretty dominant. these last couple weeks, so he gets it. Ryan, you've been right around the middle, and Huff just ever so slightly. He's been scraping by, kind of. So that's my power rankings. Ryan, who's your prediction? Huff or Fleming?
I can't say myself.
You want to say yourself?
I honestly didn't have a prediction. I mean, you could flip a coin at this point.
You can.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fleming's team's been hot. Like if it's between it, I think it's probably between Huff and myself.
Yeah.
I haven't honestly studied the rosters a ton outside of my own. I'll go Huff. I don't want to vote myself, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Flip a coin at this point, right?
It truly is a coin flip at this point, and this is now my fourth consecutive week or third saying Huff, and there's nothing like it feels wrong to do that. Like if I finally get it right, it's hard to just be like, oh, I got one right, ha ha ha, because I said him 4 weeks in a row. But but at the same time, I know as soon as I flip it away from Huff, if I say Ryan or something, it's gonna be Huff. So I'm gonna hold it down on Huff. I'll get one right, maybe, but it's pretty much anyone's game. So yeah, not much else to say. All the rosters are good. I will say I do like the addition of this like third and fourth place roster lock.
I do. And I was talking, I know Jack Colson's still in the other league, but he was saying how like he's the only one with Fab, and now he can essentially just like pillage the other rosters, which, I mean, I get he earned that position, but that makes for less fun end game.
Right. Because if you flip that to our league, let's say I am the guy, I'm Jack. I have the Fab. Everyone else is dead. I also have the best team. So in theory, if I survived this week and I got to pick up anyone I wanted off of, I would have been able to get Josh Allen or Lamar, or one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, off of one of your guys' teams, plus your best skill players. Like I could basically round out the perfect roster.
Yeah, I think this way is better. Yeah, I think this way is better.
It opens it up for the dominant team to
not win.
to not win it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I like that, even though I got the short end of it. Although I never.
Well, you didn't. It didn't come into play.
It did not come into play, but I'm the example to show that. I'm not the example because I got eliminated, but similar. If I did not get eliminated,
if you didn't, it would have been unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, you're dropping Sutton, Kenneth, and Charbonnet. Yeah, and you can backfill that with. I don't know. Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah. I drop Burrow. If I pick up one of those quarterbacks, I drop Burrow. We got Denver and Cleveland. Those are good defenses. Yeah. I was already aware I'd have to find a new quarterback this week.
All that to say, I mean, you drop 3 players who probably aren't going to be immensely helpful for another team at this point in the year for Josh Allen, Puka, Amon-Ra. Like, it could have been night pretty easily. So.
I will say, while it's a good luxury, it's a good problem to have. Having that many good players on my team did make it hard to pick who to start this week. But like I said, it didn't matter. They all did bad. They all did.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Sutton didn't even. I mean, his kind of fall off the last couple of weeks kind of came out of nowhere. But
it's the Bo Nix. Bo Nix is falling off, and I guess for the Bengals' playoff chances, I'm glad it's
that's
happening.
Good. You need that to continue. Yeah.
Mid-season when I was losing hope and like the Broncos were rolling, I was like, I kind of like the Broncos. I'd root for them if they were in the playoffs, but now they look stupid and they're just a good defensive team.
Yep.
So no longer want that. All right.
I don't know. I feel like every year there's like some dud that makes the playoffs, and it's like, all right, well.
Yeah, I guess we got to watch them lose to the 2 seed here.
Yeah. I mean, it was Big Ben, however many years ago that was. Well, heck. Basically, the last every year it's been the Steelers with some terrible quarterback that Mike Tomlin has carried to the playoffs.
They're actually good though.
Yeah, better. I would say they're better. I don't know if they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl, but
I do think Russell Wilson does have some good leadership qualities that matter at quarterback. That the Steelers have been making the playoffs with like bums at quarterback, and
I mean Big Ben. I would say have leadership.
Yeah, all the quarterbacks after Big Ben. Couldn't even.
Is it just who else beyond Kenny Pickett?
Well, like, didn't they make the playoffs with? Well, I guess no. Just because they've had winning records every season doesn't mean they've made the playoffs. But
I don't think they made it with Mason Rudolph.
I don't think so either.
But I do think they made it with Kenny Pickett, and that was pretty wild.
Yeah. I say they win a playoff game this year. But actually, in a weird way, to round out what I need for the Bengals to make the playoffs, the Chiefs play the Broncos week 18, and I need to make sure that the Chiefs have not locked in the 1 seed by then, or else they're going to bench their starters and the Broncos are going to win. But I also hate that the Chiefs, who know the Bengals are a threat to them, regardless of our record this season, we're the only team that's ever beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs. Well, outside of Tom Brady. The Chiefs have their finger on the controls of saying, we can just, like, if the Broncos win that game, we can't make the playoffs. It's already statistically impossible if the Broncos win another game. So I hate that the Chiefs have that control if they want to. So I need the Bills and the Steelers to win out and the Chiefs to ideally lose one more game so that they have to play their starters week 18 and try to win.
The Texans looked better last week. Their D was good.
The Texans?
Yes, and they have the Chiefs this week. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. I was like, how is this connecting? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Texans big time. I need the Chiefs to lose one. I need the Bills to win. They got New England, so it should be no problem. And Steelers have the Ravens. That's a toughie, but good game at least. So that's my Bengals rant. Now I have other things to care about outside of this league. Like now I can actually hope that the Bengals are gonna make the playoffs. If you told me like 2 or 3 weeks ago that like, hey, in 3 weeks you're actually going to get eliminated in that Guillotine League and the Bengals are going to have a realistic chance to make the playoffs, I'd be like, yeah, that's hilarious. But I thought the exact opposite should be true. But enough ranting. Ryan, you got any closing thoughts?
No, nobody watches these anymore.
A nice short and sweet week. Yeah, we're really just talking to each other, and Fleming will watch it. Hi, Fleming. Welcome. You made it to the end. I'm surprised you're still listening. All right,
team.
As always, don't get eliminated.